Good evening, everybody. Here we are, Wednesday night, 24th of April, Anzac Eve, with an Anzac Eve game to kick us off. We seem to get earlier and earlier. I wonder maybe we can get a Tuesday Eve game. Who knows? It's a whole Anzac round now for the AFL, and we've got obviously Melbourne playing Richmond. Is it the end for the Demons? One loss, 4-2 they are now, so little shaky legs. Who knows? I've got a habit of mozzing the team that we talk about during that week. So let's find out how they're going to go tonight. Cuz, where are you? You know what happens, mate. If you're late to the party, we get to tee off on you until you turn up. So let's bring up Lovey and kick off the war. How are you, mate? Welcome back.
G'day, mate. How you going?
Wednesday night. Yeah, I'm good. A really exciting night, although it's Anzac weekend, so we've got a lot to pay tribute to, obviously, for the incredible life that the Anzacs have been able to give us, no doubt. So tonight, it's all about footy, and it's about a few other things. We've got Nikita Zoo fighting tonight. There's a few things kind of happening, and then obviously we go into Anzac round as of tonight, and the NRL do the Anzac thing really well as well. So here we are, mate. Consistency. That is going to be the big name. You're looking very Italian mafioso tonight too, mate. Great name.
Well, you know, with free speech under attack, I've got to feel like I've got to start looking a bit more bravado and say, hey, lay off. I've noticed a bit more of a touch more tense than what you normally are. Backstage, I could tell. You're very worried about your Demons. You've had one bad loss, and I think that you guys, if you're any good, you win this tonight with a leg in the air, which I think you will. But I think that hopefully it's a good game. More importantly, I'll be at the Shrine tomorrow morning. I hope many other people are as well. I love this round, and I know that some people sort of make the argument that they're trying to cash in, but I totally disagree. And I think that without it, if this wasn't put up in lights at least one year, I think the quality of the Anzacs would be completely lost, unfortunately, in our society in a really significant way. So whether you like sport or not, I think the notion of why we acknowledge our armed forces, and particularly those from the Boer War right through to today, and what they've done is paramount. It's very important.
Absolutely. I hope we never forget these moments. Never forget what went before us, and what's proving to be with us today. Obviously, these guys are still doing an amazing job today to keep us safe and keep us in amongst trying to help everyone get to eventually that place of peace, which is an endless battle, no doubt. But this is the round as it kicks off. The Anzac Appeal round, if you can donate any spare cash, any loose change, anything will all help. Hopefully it all goes to the right places. And you see the people selling roses and badges, poppies, I should say, badges, all sorts of things at this time of year. I think it should be part of all year, but you're right. I don't think it's cash in at all. I think it's very much a case of, being able to respect this round for what it is now and put it on the landmark. It's a massive event, obviously Collingwood, Essendon tomorrow. But tonight it's all about Anzac Eve, which is a great lead in, I think. Melbourne, Richmond starting to kind of make it their own.
Yeah, I agree. I think having tonight's game, it doesn't just leave it to one day. And, I think everyone else around the nation's got every right to be able to commemorate this particular, the sacrifices that have been put before us so we can live the way we do today. Brisbane, Sydney, Perth, Adelaide. I hope they all have I hope they have a somber but wonderful occasion in commemorating the Anzacs.
And a little quick sting from our good mate Adam from Around the Pan. Thinks Richard might put up a show. Well, hopefully that show doesn't last very long. But as you know, Lovey, it's all about a good start, and I think that's what breeds confidence. A good start for tonight, and importantly, kicking straight and making the most of your opportunities. We've seen this year, it's very much become a game of momentum at the moment, and I think you see that in a lot of sports, but very much in rugby and AFL at the moment. When you can get that momentum, you really got to make use of it and score as heavily as you can, and try and hang on to it for as long as you've got it. So don't let them score too much on the back of it before you try and reverse it. But you can be too negative, I think, too. Also, we've seen that with the Saints trying to play kind of very negative defensive footy and get
very line like.
Yeah,
very line. Always has been.
Very much so. The countdown to the ceremony is only in about 15 minutes, so we're just going to keep talking for a little while. We'll obviously.
I think the ceremony. I think this. So the ceremony, I think, is happening now. Yeah. And I went to last year's Anzac Eve game, and it was just, it was awesome. It was fantastic. I was literally, where the cauldron is. We were 5 meters to its left.
Yep.
So very eerie, very good, very I think very poignant. And when the silence drops across the ground, it's just it's stunning. Like even for the Anzac Eve game, it's great. I've been to a number of those Anzac Day games, but they do tonight very, very well.
Yeah, I think the AFL is doing it very well, and the NRL do it incredibly well over at Amy Park. With obviously LED lights being able to kill all the lights at once, and they'd be able to turn them back on very quickly. Obviously, we don't have that luxury at the moment with the MCG, but it's still a very special moment. I think they're two quite unique, distinct events. The pre-game, obviously, of the Melbourne-Richmond, and also the big day of Collingwood-Essendon. Whose home game is it this year for Collingwood-Essendon?
I think it might be Collingwood's.
Okay. Yep.
I can't remember if they split 50-50 every year or if just the home team. And all the proceeds go towards the widows anyway. So,
bring it up. I actually think it is a Bombers home game.
It's a Bombers home game. Well, there you go.
So let's kick off with 16th versus 6th, mate. Melbourne and Richmond. Obviously, we just had a nervous start for us Demons, and there's a few nervous Demons fans around at the moment. But I think Cozzy back, Petrarca rested, Oliver rested. Then we've got a few in there. It's really up to Fritsch. Fritsch has got to kick goals. That's no question. And kick them straight this time and get them on early. Cozzy's got to probably slot his two ideally, 2 or 3.
Yep, and not get suspended.
Ben Brown tonight, obviously, who's always a pretty straight shooter and drops the ball at their feet. So, where else do you think it could be won? Obviously, everyone talks about the game being won out of the middle. Have Richmond got enough firepower in the middle at the moment?
It's not the middle I'm worried about for Richmond. It's they haven't got enough. They haven't got enough cattle up forward to combat Beaver and May. Melbourne will be. I think the way this game plays out, Melbourne will be able to press up pretty high along the way. Richmond's small forwards aren't in great form at the moment, so I think for me it's one because I don't think Richmond is just going to get enough inside 50s from their high half forwards and their wingers. I think. They haven't got any forwards that they may have. I mean, May and Lever will just have a field day. So, for me, the only way Richmond hang in there is if they have cameos all night from different players. I mean, has Dusty got more in him? Has he got a match-winning four goals in one half type of effort in like he did for the grand finals? I don't know. And I think Rioli, the other match winners I can see are Bolton and Rioli. They're out of form. I mean, Bolton's in good form, but he hasn't got enough cattle around him. And I think Rioli he's dropped off. And I think that, injury time Richmond also is huge. You can't place 10 first 22 players just like that. So, For me, it's Melbourne comfortably by about 30 points.
Yeah, well, I'll take that. Hopefully, I'm going for Melbourne by 45 plus, hopefully. But I think you're 100% right. Rioli, I think, is the absolute key tonight. I think Rioli gets Bolton in the game, and Rioli coming off that back line, half back, I think it's going to be a real pressed up game. So a 3/4 kind of length footy, like you discussed. And if Melbourne can get out the front and get those quick ones before Richmond can push up and press that, I think Melbourne go a long way. So let's move on. We've got a tip there. So bring back the Demons. Hopefully that's the call after tonight. Let's move on to the big one. The big one tomorrow with Essendon, Collingwood, 7th versus 10th. This is close. This has probably been the best Anzac prelude as far as where they're sitting on the ladder right now for the last couple of years. So I think this one's set up for a good one. And the Bombers, I think, have really got to, if they're serious this year, they've really got to make a statement against the Pies. And the Pies a touch rusty, so let's see how they go as well. But what's your thoughts on the Bombers, mate? Can they get it done?
This is our first proper test to see if we're legitimate contenders this year. I kind of agree with some of the write-ups that have been put up about Essendon throughout the course of this week, and I totally agree. I think it's nice to beat Adelaide. They're now 1-5. We've beaten teams outside the 8. Essendon, a long time, has not consistently beaten teams around them or inside the 8. So it's got to start at some stage. I think we can. I still think Collingwood are still trying to click, even though they're 3-3 now. I think I feel like our midfield will more than match them. My concern is the selection tonight. So they took out Sardis and they've left in all of Draper, Goldstein, Wright. So, God, I hope it's a dry day tomorrow. Well, certainly while the game's going. Because if it's not, we're fucked. Basically,
pretty much.
I mean, Collingwood have just completely run out of the defence, and I know Drapes and Goldie will make their efforts, and Righty as well when they're playing forward. But geez, we've got to be on with their targets inside 50. I mean, last week, we should have won by 9 goals last week. We didn't because we spawned it inside 50 opportunities. So got to be right. I actually think we can win by 8 points tomorrow. I think if we're going to actually be taken seriously, these are the games we have to win. And if not, you know what? We're still stuck in that 8-4 rut, and it just doesn't make anyone any happier.
Yep. Bombers by 21 for me. I'm a little bit more confident that the Bombers are going to get along. So hopefully I haven't put the mozz on them, mate.
You've just done it, mate. You give me the shit when you do this. It's just. I tried to say nothing that last 10 seconds. I thought, no, I'm calling you out on this.
Yep.
Just tip Collingwood, mate. Tip Collingwood, please.
I should have. But here we are with the late show. Let's bring him up. Oh, he's got a North Melbourne top on. Have a look at him. He's
Not North Melbourne. Straight from work, gentlemen.
Peter.
Have a look at him.
Welcome, Peter. Good to have you back out of the slot. Ready
to company's calendar boy.
Ready to do a ground invasion tomorrow at the G.
How are you, lads?
Good, mate. Good to have you back, cuz.
Good. Yeah, I feel early. I feel on time.
Mate, what are you channeling? What outfit is that, mate, that you got on? It looks like a Churnside Park outfit, mate.
No. You can call it whatever you want.
I just want to know what it is. I'm genuinely interested.
Just a nice boxing jacket I got from
just a bit of Everlast acting? No, I like it.
Yeah.
How do you fellas? Comfortable and confident about tonight?
No, not at all. Comfortably nervous. He's probably swings and roundabouts. Anything could happen tonight. I'm just hoping we don't play the Tigers into a bit of form. We've got a bad habit of doing that against a few teams. But I think tonight we've just got to make a statement and see if we're 100% serious about this year, that we need to really knock off a team that sits a hell of a lot lower than us. So they're the ones you've got to win. You can't let let them at him. So what's your tip, Cuz? Let's get the Melbourne Richmond tip off you, and then a quick Bomber.
Look, I tend to think that Melbourne will do that tonight. I know it might be a little bit damp underfoot later on, but I think they'll win by 6 goals plus. I think they're a lot better placed than the Tigers at the moment, and probably in a better position to really sort of hammer home that point. And I think, to what Lovey said, getting on to the next tip, I think Essendon need to do the same tomorrow. If we want to be fair income and be counted, we need to make a statement.
Yep.
Last 2 games, good form. We'll take that.
Kaz, are you happy with the selection of all three in all 3 tools and Sardis out?
Look, on form, you've got to play Goldstein. Drake was probably the lucky one to stay in.
To me,
and I think you've got to bring back Peter Wright.
To me, it's a chicken shit selection. I reckon they hit the chicken switch and didn't drop Drapes. I watched him last week, mate. He was disgusting. He gave away 50. He nearly cost us the game with momentum in that late in the second quarter. So
he just looked out of sorts, doesn't he? He just looks like he doesn't almost know what his place is. Is that a fair call?
I mean, the oxygen's thin where he is up top, mate.
Both plays him in now.
Well, you're the one that throws him, not us.
Let's bring him back once he finds a bit of dial up there.
Christ almighty. Where's he dialing from? Where's he dialing from? Oliver's Hill.
Yeah, not sure. I think he's still pedaling. He should have a little solar panel. You know, he's doing a few Ks. Cuz is actually looking pretty good. He's lost a bit of weight. He's put us all to shame as far as how many Ks he's pulling off during the day. Well, I think we've found the right job for Cuz. Just get off your ass and go for a walk and get paid to do it, mate. That's a great idea.
Exactly right.
Welcome back, Cuz.
No, look, I'm very happy, boys. To be totally honest, and look, the reason we started this podcast, it's been fantastic, this job, for both my mental and my physical health. Yeah, look, I'm 90 kilos at the moment, which, God, I couldn't tell when I was last 90 kilos.
Righto, good work.
I've got 26, no, 25 when you're right now, so eat a dick. Hey, what's the go with your... What's the go with all this? Have you actually now trimmed this all away and it's just a goatee?
Now, just tied it up, mate. Just the mainstay.
It's a goatee, but it's a goatee, right? Are you starting to go the gruff down the bottom here?
No. I've got to tie it up. Two young men who I'm very much akin to and very much take advice from have said to me, it's not bad, but what the fuck's going on with this down here? That was Jack and Lucas's last time I caught up with them.
I think it's a very valid question.
And even Jack's, I love it. Some photos I just should never have sent you.
Probably.
Even Jack's beautiful girlfriend, Nesh, the other night did say to me, she goes, lovely to see you, Glenn, but what's going on under there? So...
you just look like you need a little bit of sun, Cuz. So maybe might be just the lighting.
Maybe it's because Lovey thinks it's a sanitarium or a mental home with all the white.
I do love the white backdrop. I mean, you've really kind of lashed out there with a bit of flavour for us tonight. So that's something maybe you can work on for next week, Cuz. But
mate, when you're moving with your mother and sister, you take whatever backdrop you get, mate.
Absolutely, you do. I preferred the curtain kind of in the old days.
maybe a photo of the two ladies in the background or something, mate. Just break up.
I'll see what I can wrangle up for you for next week. How's that sound?
I know that blue shirt's quite contrasting, but no, there's better things to look at. Let's be honest. So, yeah.
What time's kickoff?
On to the next one, boys. Giants Lions. 3rd versus 12th. I think this shows a game a lot closer than their ladder positions at the moment.
No, it doesn't for me.
Yeah, right. What's your thought?
I think Giants easy. Brisbane are in a bit of trouble, I think.
Righto. 20.
Is it that trip away? Is there more to them meets the eye with that trip away?
I think you're reading too much into it.
They're bullshit, mate. For me,
I'm not saying yeah. No, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
No, they're just playing shit footy. It's GWS for me by about 48 points.
Yeah, I think the footy trips become the excuse, cuz, right now.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they got together and a few home truths got told, pretty much like what's happened down at the Hawks, and they decided to bring the mouth guards, mate. Bring the mouth guards, which was a great initiative back in the old school days. So, what about the Toby Green tax, boys? Do we agree on that decision? It's really hard to read. 1 week for that, 1 week for Pickett, 7 weeks for Peter Wright. It just didn't work.
People have said that Jonathan Brown overreacted Monday night on his show about it becoming Gaelic football. Well, I guarantee it's exactly how it's going, and there's going to be no contact in the sport sooner rather than later, because how can you actually as a sporting code, when you have contact in your sport, how can you justify the position of expecting the guy coming at the football not to be able to protect himself?
Okay.
And where's the onus on the guy coming back with the flight of the ball to actually protect himself? You know, I just think, I honestly think that that's actually the wrong way around. And I really think the guy making the effort to get to the ball first is the one that's going at it forward. The guy that's coming back at the flight of the ball, that should remain as it always has been. You know, if you decide to take you off the ball and drop your shoulder and collect the bloke in front of you, absolutely, it's always been a free kick. And if they want to make that a suspension these days, go for it. But when you're in the contest the way Toby Green wasn't, the split second in the air, he decides to actually brace for contact, he should be entitled to do it. Exactly the same way as Peter Wright was entitled to brace for contact for himself. Yep, he couldn't late to the contest. It doesn't mean he should miss 4 games. Doesn't mean Toby Green should miss 1 game because he wants to protect himself.
Yep. The
same onus should be on the bloke coming back the other way. It's just an absolute fucking disgrace the way that they've now taken contact out of the sport, which is essentially what they're doing.
Yeah, and they're asking players
because you got all these fucking wowzers on the sideline saying, "Oh, every time someone's head gets hit, that's it. They're going to get massive concussion issues by the time they're 50." No, you won't. I'm 48. I've been knocked out 9 times. I feel like I've still got my cognitive thoughts. So it's an inconsistent science, right? The fact of the matter is you play a contact sport. Now, if the AFL don't want to make this a contact sport, great. No problem. Just tell us. Just tell us straight up now, and we'll go follow another code.
Yeah.
If you keep tinkering around and piss farting around like I have been, and all you do is confuse the cows and the bulls in the paddock about what they can and can't do, well then, mate, it's any wonder everyone's so week to week, just yelling at the clouds.
Yeah.
It's farcical. It's absolutely farcical.
And they're asking players to make decisions in a split second when it's impossible to make that decision. Yes, you'll make the decision, but the way they're adjudicating it now is they'll err on the side of, looks like I'm going to get wets, which, as you said, Lovey, I don't think is justified at times.
Righto, give us a tip, boys.
Giants, easy.
Yeah, Giants by 48.
48, Cuz?
Yeah, same. I reckon they'll win by 10 goals.
Right. I reckon Giants by 2 points. There you go. Close one.
He loves it. He loves a tight one.
I love a tight one, as long as it's not one of our
for his own team.
Yeah, correct. Port Adelaide versus Saints, the irrelevance. They are starting to call them these days. 5th versus 13th.
Port could do to them what they did to us.
Yeah, Port on the rebound. I think Port will feel pretty shitty on themselves for letting that game go last week. So they had Collingwood on the ropes and didn't put them away. Premiership sides or wannabe premiership sides would put that Collingwood team away. So I think they'll come out. They'll be pretty angry. I don't think St Kilda got the firepower to run with Port at Adelaide Oval. So for me, it's Port by 58 points.
Yeah, Port 10 goals for me. Cuz, quick tip.
Yep.
Yeah, same. Yeah, Port easy.
Righto, good news. Demons kicked the first one. There, we're off. We're away.
Van Rooyen, the Van Diemen.
Yes. North versus Adelaide. How much, boys? By Adelaide. North any.
I'm picking a draw.
Oh, there you go.
I'm going to tip the Kangas.
Right. You're wearing the North Melbourne polo tonight, so
I am. I'm wearing a kit.
What's that logo? What's the logo? Is it a doily? Is it like an old-fashioned
It is
table
Service
doily?
Stream.
Oh, look at that
Service
man.
Stream, and that says Southeast Water, mate.
could you pick
Jesus
a worse angle?
Christ. Have a look at that. Yeah, no.
Can't do that relevant, but anyway.
Go on a draw, down in Tassie.
Yeah, I actually really like the Southeast Waters new uniform, cuz it's nice.
That one there.
Yeah, with the the wet marks at the back. It's beautiful.
Look like he sat on one of the
You
leading
idiots.
reeds.
Yes. All right, let's move on.
Nothing
to the
is
next game.
sacred. Is there anything sacred I send you? Anything?
Not at all.
No.
Cats versus the Blues. First versus fourth. Blues
No,
any
what a
chance
shit,
to keep
what a
this
shit game this is.
going? Can the Blues do it? And keep
At the
momentum
MCG,
going?
yes.
Yep.
Sadly, at the
Yeah,
MCG.
MCG,
yes.
Blue Boy. Blue Boys
Absolutely.
by 4 goals.
Yeah, I think the Assholes win by 10 points.
Right, well, I'm going to tip the Blues by 2 goals just to stop their rot as well, stop their momentum. So they're going to lose because I've tipped them. So that brings
Who do you tip tomorrow as?
tomorrow. I'll tip the Bombers, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Thanks. Great. No, good then, mate.
Let's move on. Saturday night, late one. Dockers versus the Bulldogs. Dockers really struggling now. The Harley Reid tax kicked in for the West Coast. They're resting him this week, I believe, against the Gold Coast. He's going that well, Harley Reid. And now they're obviously the WA market is swinging towards Fremantle now. Can they? Oh, I mean, they're very lucky to be sitting ninth. Let's face it. Ninth versus eighth. Bulldogs have got to travel. They any chance of Bulldogs? They got back to a win at least last week. Can they do it?
They are. They get Libba back. But I don't think – I just think over Perth, Freo would want to make sure they show up after that disgrace.
Yeah.
So if they're with their salt and if they like their coach, they win this by 4 goals.
Yeah, I can throw by a couple of goals. They got to make a statement if they have any ounce of respect for Longmuir.
Yeah, I think Longmuir's safe. I don't think he's going anywhere, but you never know these days, do you? Let's see. I think I'm going to throw the Doggies in for one by a goal. There's another close one for you for Saturday night special. Let's move on to the next one, which is the Suns versus the Eagles. Boys, this is going to be a struggle to watch this game. The Suns, realistically, if they're serious, they should smash the Eagles up there.
All of a sudden, I've invested interest in Gold Coast Suns games, as we know.
Yes. Sure do.
Look, they should win.
I think the Suns 4 or 5 goals. The Suns
Right.
up there.
They should win this comfortably. Tookie Miller had a quiet game last week. I think he'll fire back. He'll lead them. He'll make sure they just get over the line. I think that's what they want to do. And it's look, I get it. He's an 18-year-old kid. But Jesus, why would you rest? Kind of question sometimes why you would rest your best player in current form for a game that you actually do have a semi-legitimate chance of winning. They're not going to get the wooden spoon and number 1 pick this year now. They're already 2 games ahead of that. So they might as well just keep shooting for the stars and trying to get wins on the board. And I think resting Harley Reid, I mean, it's bizarre to say it for a 6-gamer, but
Surely it was a bit of tongue-in-cheek, wasn't it, Lovey? Like, they must be asking and checking with Harley, how you feel, how's he feeling and all that. You got to play the kid. You got to get games in him. 100% right. And while he's going well and momentum and everything, just
I don't know why you flirt. I don't know why you flirt with an 18-year-old kid's form. I think you just let him play.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially in position where he was. He did. He took a couple of great marks and kicked a couple of great goals. So, look, I think he might come back to earth this week. And my little prediction is kick after the siren. Harley Reid's got the ball. And he hits the post and they lose by a point. There you go. That'll shoot the WA paper up. Put that one in your headlines, boys. Missed it by that much. Let's see. All right, I'm trying to add
Harley bleeds.
game for a Sunday 1 o'clock special. Hawks versus Sydney. Can the Hawks keep the momentum going, or the Sydney real statement on this one?
No.
Studies farewell to both teams.
Yeah, good call.
Hawthorn played the equivalent of Bourne last week. So for me, no, Sydney will win this by 10 goals comfortably.
Yeah, Sydney by 6+.
I've already chucked money. I've decided to chuck money on Meany from the Brownlow. I don't think he's going to get any. He's not going to stay as long as he's already now. He's been wound right in, so I jumped on it. I just think he's in the form of his life. He's got at least 10 Brownlow votes. I would have thought 10, 11 with 6 rounds gone. So, yeah, Sydney for me.
Right. You had Sydney too, Cuz?
Yeah, Sydney easy, I think, mate.
Yeah, I think they should. Sydney by 10 goals. They should get the job done. Let's have a quick check of the ladder, boys. In that top 8, any big surprises there for you guys at this stage?
Essendon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Bombers, yeah.
I'll be honest, I didn't think the 2 New South Wales teams would be top 4 together at the start of the year.
Yep.
Everything else, and probably Geelong on top. I mean, I said they'd probably make the 8, I think, this year, but not to be 6-0 right now. I think they're probably the key surprises.
Doggies a surprise?
Hey?
Doggies a surprise at all?
They're not for me because with the talent and the capabilities they've got on that list in their best 22, we keep rating them. Patience is going to run out with that best 22 they've got though, but no, they should be in the 8.
Yep.
With the players they've got, they should be in the 8. So no, it's not a surprise for me.
Yep. All right, we're not going to run through the whole NRL, boys, but we're just going to get a couple of quick tips on the main games.
Dragons.
Dragons.
I spit myself. The Dragons are going so well.
Impressive. Ninth.
Up and about, Lovey.
They're a genuine chance to knock off the Roosters, mate.
Mate, they will knock them off. Form is gold.
Sure is. Momentum is everything.
Yep.
And for
I didn't think the Storm. I'll be honest. I didn't think the Storm would be second this time of the year, but they are.
Yeah, they're a real surprise for where they kind of started or what they had to work with. I guess you'd say. They had a few big guns out. For the first time since I can remember, Melbourne aren't playing the Warriors on Anzac night, which is a little shame.
Yeah.
Gives us a chance to play the Rabbitohs at home. So Melbourne, hopefully, they can keep this momentum up at home. They're a killer item at home. But the Rabbitohs...
He's having the Rabbitohs blown up.
Yeah, they have.
Far out.
A few dramas.
Grand final 2 years ago, wasn't it? Was it 2 years ago against Penrith?
I think it was 2, yeah.
Yeah.
22, yeah.
So in less than 2 seasons, they've hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
It is. And there's
Down with your D's, mate.
There's one other game here.
Yep.
It is, for me, it is Sea Eagles versus the Eels. That's the one I think you should watch.
White collar versus blue collar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Good to see what happens there. So, all right, boys, we're not going to go for too long. If you're bored and you don't hate footy and you're not into footy, just for Sarah Burke, she should be at the Cherry tonight to go and see Dead City Ruins and the Casanovas. That one's on tonight, so make sure you get out there, Sarah, and go and see that one. Thursday night, there's a residency quickly for Pat Wilson at the Gem, his last one. And this guy you've got to go and see in the next few weeks, boys. Thursday night special kicks off about 10. The 6v6s, Willie J. Maxwell is his name. Unbelievable, like phenomenal. You must go and see that one. And if you're out and about Saturday, here's what I advise that you go and do. Saturday, get out to Cocoa Bananas out Footscray Way. Ash Naylor is going to play a acoustic set, which will be well worth seeing. We don't get to see Ash to do this very often. And also, given that we talked about Benalla Street Art Festival not that long ago, the Wall to Wall Festival's on down at Morty Alec. So this is all weekend. There's about 10 or so street art murals getting done. So Frankston, the boys in Frankston don't come down and steal all the spray cans. They might actually get the job done at Morty.
You know what? What they should do, Aaron, is get poster boy Glenn from Frankston up on as one of the murals. Morty Alley.
Probably not going to happen, Alan, but thank you for the thought.
Just to cause absolute traffic accidents and going, what the fuck? Who is that fucking guy?
Is that good-looking rooster?
No.
Well, it didn't take long, but this guy got rebadged not that long ago. The Monty Meanderer has become the Frankston Freak. So get out there and get amongst him. But here, honestly, guys, genuinely, this one on Sunday is an absolute killer at Northcote Social Club. It's called the Super Terrific Happy Hour. About half a dozen, no, it's probably 8 or 9 bands on there. It kicks off about 1 o'clock in the Arvo, and we'll go through to probably 10 or 11, maybe. And features the Hard-Ons, which don't know them. Tim Rogers for UMY is in that band, but also Cold Irons Bound, who's been on the show. Mark Sinton, Little Faiths, Hot Machine, all-girl lineup. They're flying at the moment, so see if you can get along to a gig over the weekend. And let's not forget, let's finish off with tonight. And tonight, it's all about this boy, Nikita Zoo. Can he get the job done against Danilo Creati? Obviously, you're in the corner. You're ready to go. Give us your tip.
KO third round.
For Nikita?
And Cuz, we're going to call you Cuz the Cut Man for tonight. If you're in the corner and you saw what happened to his brother Tim, pulsating blood out of the top of his head not long ago, all rumours are didn't have the right cream. I don't know. I think it was more than the cream that was going to stop those bursts. So what do you think for Nikita?
One job. I think Nikita's a big chance.
He's got to restore a bit of pride for the brothers. So let's see.
He does for the family.
Yeah. All right, boys. Thanks for joining me on this little special occasion that we put together for tonight. We'll do it again next week, and we'll talk a bit more about see who we can jinx next week. Hopefully the jinx it goes away. Let's get it.
I'll text you about tomorrow morning, lovey.
Quick score update. And boys, yeah, really looking forward to a review of take a little bit of footage if you can and capture a little bit of the moment. Cuz, please don't talk while Lovey's filming something. And then give me your review. Whisper, maybe.
Okay, mate. Thank you, boys. Love to see you both. Be good.
Absolutely. Lest we forget, boys. 2 o'clock tomorrow.
See you tomorrow morning,
lest we forget.
See you, boys.
Always good to see Snoozy's big head. See you, boys.